hard for a woman like me, 'cause I find it hard to trust. I need too much, and I really don't believe in love, no. Do you think that I could be the girl of your dreams? Sometimes I don't let things go, get emotional, and sometimes I'm just out of control. You need to stop for a minute before you get too deep up in it. 'Cause everything ain't what it seems. It's hard loving a woman like me, and like me. Before you get hooked on the venom and can't live without it. Can't believe everything you see. It's hard loving a woman like me. Do you think that I could be the one that you see? 'Cause baby, I'm one step ahead, you're two steps behind. But baby, I don't mind. Do you think that I could make you real happy, baby? Just don't get me wrong, my loving is so strong, but I ain't trying to lead you on, no.
All right, so today is the 30th of August 2023. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning, and for the very first time in God knows how long, I have only women as my panel to have a conversation with. You, have we ever had an all-women panel before?
I think when we did the pad, I think the women lawyers that came in, I think it was just like a group like this.
So a bevy of beautiful ladies. Huh?
Yes.
Okay.
And all the diamonds and pearls I'm seeing.
Yeah. And what else? So we've got 4 amazing, women with us in the studios of Love 99.5 for this morning's conversation. And let me just run you through the ladies that I have with me. I have, first of all, Mrs. Regina Nyako. She is a deputy registrar with the KNUST. Hi, Mommy. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Trust you're well.
I'm doing well by grace.
We thank the Lord. You're looking beautiful,
Thank you.
I like the smile on your face as well. And then my one and only, is also with me in the studios of Love 99.5. I'm talking about my one and only sister here in Kumasi. Her name is Dr. Mrs. Augustina Angelina Silverkin. She is a senior lecturer, Department of Theoretical and Applied Biology, KNUST. Hi.
Hello.
And how are you doing?
By grace, I'm very
It's been a while, eh?
Yes.
I know behind the scenes we do a lot of things. And like
Yes.
you mentioned the part thing, you've been playing some instrumental roles in there. Let me take this opportunity whilst we're on air to say a big thank you for the love and of course for the support. And I'm sure that once you've brought along some other amazing, awesome ladies next year. In fact, we want to do another one before the end of this year, huh? So maybe we'll come back to you and see what you can do.
But let's talk about ours first, David. Because we also need some sponsorship.
Sure.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. And of course, we also have with us Dr. Mrs. Linda Ofori. She's with the same department as, Dr. Mrs. Augustine Angela Silverking, and Dr. Mrs. Sandra Abankwa Kwating is also with us. She's also a senior lecturer with the same department. Hi, Doc. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Charlie,
Are you?
I'm well, I'm well. Yeah. Charlie, but for God, who are we? Where will we be?
I tell you.
Well, in case you're wondering why I have all ladies with me in the studios of Love 99.5 and you're asking yourself, why are they here? Well, the KNUST Women in Science, Technology, Engineering and Maths, that's they call themselves the WiSTEM GH or WiSTEM Ghana, are organizing a Girls Camp 2023 under the theme Innovation and Technology for STEM Education. The emphasis is on STEM education in Ghana, equipping the girl child. Are they abandoning the boy child? We'll find out, don't worry. But that's what they intend to do. So this morning we would like to take a look at encouraging girls to read science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And the fact that the attention, oftentimes, that the drive, the focus, the attention is more on the girl child. How does that make you feel? Is it something that as a young student you're bothered about? Does it bother you in any way? Let's hear from you. But again, if you're somebody who is into the sciences and you're a woman, maybe you're an engineer, you're teaching mathematics, whatever, technology, let's hear from you. What words of encouragement do you have for the young ones out there who might be on their way to school, those who might have completed their JHS, those who are in the senior high school, the young girls out there, for those of you who are adults, you are women, who find yourself in these fields of endeavor, what would you want to say to these young ones? Our WhatsApp number is 055-1111-995. All right, so let's hear from you. Now, even if you're a man, you have some daughters, what would you want them to become when they grow? I'll be sharing some information with you later this morning about the courses that most of the Ghanaians are studying now. They're not necessarily Ghanaians, but people in Africa. All right, so we'll be sharing all that with you. So once again, good morning and welcome to our beautiful studios here at Love 99.5.
Good morning.
Okay, some of them have a bit of bass in there. I know that women have trouble, stuff, but I can hear a bit of bass in there. So to start off, let me throw the first one to you, ma'am. I mean, tell us about this WiSTEM GH Girls Camp 2023. What is it all about?
Yeah. Okay. So in 2018, the then Vice Chancellor, Professor Kwesi Obridanso.
Oh, hi, Prof. Good morning. It's been a while. I've been a notice, and forgive me. I'll look for you one of these days.
Decided to, his vision was to increase the intake of ladies into the physical sciences and engineering programs. So together with some women in WiSTEM, they came together to have the first WiSTEM camp, bringing about 80 students from students in Ashanti region, and it was successful. That was just they didn't come to stay. It was
out of campus
camp. They came in and then went out.
Okay.
So the second year, 2019, we also had a second camp, and this time round we brought in about 200 students from schools in Ashanti region, and together with WiSTEM, we educated them. And then, because of COVID and its effect on the academic calendar, we couldn't have it in 2020 and then 2021. And then in 2022, we had another one. And this year, from 4th September to 9th, we'll have the fourth one. And as you said, we are bringing all students in Ashanti region, and this time round too, we will have some students from Western region coming on board.
We'll talk some more about the students that will be participating in this year's event, but I'm excited to hear that you've grown, because like you said, in 2018, the first batch comprised about 80 students, female students. And I don't know what you had in 2019 or 2020. How many students did you put together?
About 200 students.
So you keep growing.
Yes.
You keep growing. That's a beautiful thing.
And then the third one, we had about 230. And this time we are expecting about 250 students.
Okay. So you being an assistant registrar, tell me about, the interest of the girl child when it comes to the sciences. Well, Dr. Silverkin, I mean, is there interest there?
Well, now it is building up because I guess now they have a lot of other people to look up to. And, back then we all assumed that as for women scientists, they are boring. I always use the word that they are not funky. But look at all of us. Yeah. I mean, we look very appealing, don't we? But
what do you want to say about that?
The pills are saying everything.
So, I mean, typically when you look into old books, you see women scientists, scruffy hair, big spectacles, funny, looking in a very strange way. So now I think they have a lot of role models to look up to. And I think now the interest is really there. It is building up. I don't think we are there yet. I guess that's how come even when you look at the UN Sustainable Development Goals, they have intentionally focused on gender equality, where they even want to restrict some of the targets to, technological advancement as far as women are concerned.
Why do you think the interest is not really there that much?
I mean, it is multifaceted. A lot of reasons. Some don't have examples. Some don't have role models. Stereotyping, biases, our upbringing. You are a woman. Be in the kitchen. Allow your brothers to go to school, and all the other myths. If you're a woman and you read science, you will not get a good husband.
You will not get a husband. You will not get a husband.
In fact,
maybe cry before crack out.
Exactly. You will not get a husband, and several other myths. But I think now the dynamics are changing. We are gradually becoming more aware and more conscious that indeed women also are brainy. They can study science, and they can do not only science but science, technology, engineering, and mathematics fields. So now the dynamics seem to be changing, but I don't think we are there yet. So we still have a lot more to do. That's how come for WiSTEM, we are only interested in inspiring the next generation of women. All we want to see and do is to encourage more women to take up careers in sciences or in the STEM fields. But of course, before they can take up these careers, they need to be built up. They need to have mentors. They need to have role models. They need to have very good examples, like all of us seated here.
Let me come to you, Dr. Linda, Dr. Mrs. Linda. Oh, sorry, I'm saying emphasis on the Mrs. because you are into the sciences. You have a husband, and a very good husband. At that. Now, tell me, you in the theme you talk about equipping the girl child. What do you mean by equipping the girl child?
Thank you very much, and good morning to your listeners.
And viewers as well, because we're live on
viewers,
Facebook.
Yes,
and if you want to check them out, they are. I don't know how to describe them anymore. I'm lost for words. I mean, they are more than pretty, right? They are awesome. They're amazing. They're great. They are with us in the studio, so you can join us on Facebook on LUV 99.5 FM and see them for yourself.
I tell you.
Then I'm kind of but you must know how do we equip them?
Thank you very much. So we all know that in equipping people, you are giving them theory, you're giving them practical, you're giving them the opportunity to do hands-on. And so in the camp, our focus has been not to only bombard them with books. So you just talk to them, and it's like, okay, another talk shop. But this time round, for us, what we do is that when we bring them in, we take them through practical training, and then we give them the opportunity to do a 3-day project. So we put them in groups. We give them so they kind of like pick the project that they work on. So we have a mini project subcommittee, and their focus is to look out for projects in the STEM field. So this time the unique thing is that we have introduced the art, because art, most people feel art is social science. Art is a science, because if you need to mix up dyes are chemicals. And so we are giving them the opportunity to work hands-on with mentors, and the mentors are lecturers, technicians, and then they take them through a 3-day project where they would formulate, do the innovations, do the projects themselves, and come out there and give us what their main focus objective was, what they went through, the methods, and then they give us their outcomes. And then they'll deliver them by PowerPoint. And so we are taking them through how to even do a PowerPoint presentation and how to present. And we are giving them all the skills in giving a good presentation. So you are not giving a presentation with your hands in your hair, you are picking your ears and fidgeting behind the computer. So we are doing all of that. And then in also equipping them, they are looking at us. How do we carry ourselves? How do we present ourselves? What are we showing them? Children learn by observing, and they observe a lot. So all that we are doing, our going and coming, it's a lot of motivation for them.
So let's start.
To add to that, it's not the groups that will form. We'll make sure that the less endowed schools are mixed with the well-known schools. So they will get an opportunity to also be peer mentored. So it's not just looking up to us, but looking also at their colleagues. And then learn how to mingle with them, pick 1 or 2 skills from them, and then it would also help them.
Don't worry, we'll come back to what will be happening between the 4th and the 9th. But before we do all that, for us to have the right interest of girls in STEM, the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, it ought to start from the very basics when they are young. Now, like Dr. Silverken, you mentioned, in some homes, we think that, they ought to be relegated to the background. Their business is in the kitchen, because ultimately they'll be getting married and take care of the home. And again, we have made it seem as if science or mathematics is so tough that, it's meant for, let's say in quotes, boys. For a parent who's listening to us right now who has a girl child or has girl children, what should go into raising this child for that interest to be generated such that as the child grows through the primary, get into the junior high, into the senior high, the interest of science will be there? What can parents do?
I think parents can do a lot. A lot. This is one of the things they are listening to us. So that awareness creation is very important. But even beyond that, when we have brought the girls to campus, in all the girls' camp, and of course, plus the one we are yet to have, we also give some level of training, or we also equip their teachers. So we don't leave the teachers out.
But you pick them from the senior high or from the junior high?
From the senior high.
At which time they have decided to read science.
Exactly.
I'm looking at a point from a perspective where they will have that interest even before they get into the junior high, so that it will metamorphose into the senior high. So before that junior high level, what can be done from the home and in the schools to ensure that the interest in science, technology, engineering, mathematics will be there in the girl child?
Yes, so I think in the homes, parents need to know that or become aware, not know that the girls can also read science. And I think beyond that's really what they can do in our quest to ensure that right from the basic level, and of course the way we teach the students, whether boys or girls, is also very important. And as they go through the rudiments in terms of their academics, we keep on encouraging them. We keep on having role models for them to look up to, because I think like Dr. Ofori said, if they have people to look up to, whether you are a parent or even you are a child, so the parents listening to us, I mean, if they log on to Facebook and they see us, I think they will also appreciate the fact that, oh, these are women, they've been able to read science. Of course, the basic level, I mean, with the Ministry of Education, they have their curricula. We can make some input. I mean, we work closely with the STEM coordinator in the Ashanti region. Occasionally, we have meetings with them. We give them the necessary input. But I think that for the parents, becoming aware that the girls can also read science, so that when you are even, spelling out jobs at home, chores at home, you don't discriminate and say that this one should be for the boy and this one, when it comes to pounding fufu, let the boy stand, use the pestle and be doing the pounding, and allow the girl to be turning, doing the turn. But consciously, I think we need to become aware as parents, and we need to be conscientized, so that when we are conscious, even when we are giving out roles and regarding chores at home, parents will realize that no, the girls also need to spend some time behind their books.
So they also need to change the bulb.
Absolutely.
Yes,
and I think that even as parents, if you are doing something, so you are changing bulbs, don't let your girl child be in her room or sit somewhere or be in the kitchen washing bowls. Same way, when you are washing bowls, I expect that your boy child should also learn how to wash bowls, so that there's no discrimination at home. It can be tough, it can be difficult, but I think that once the awareness is created gradually, I mean, we are not there yet. I'm sure even for some educated people, you go into their homes and you realize that there's a clear segregation. So, let your brother go and play football, but can you let your brother teach your sister how to play football? Because now we see a lot of...
They ended the Females World Cup tournament all long ago. Yeah, Spain won.
Yes.
So you expect a girl child also pound fufu, yeah?
Absolutely.
With a smaller pistol or a bigger one?
Same pistol.
Hey. Charlie, if you're listening to us, you're hearing the women, though. Share your thoughts with us. Do you agree with them on what they're saying?
David, I need to emphasize that women also need to be encouraged. Seriously. The girl child needs to be encouraged. Sometimes you only need to pat them at the back. Yes, you can do it.
Encourage them.
Encourage them.
Yeah.
And I guess as we do all these things, one day we'll get
But Dr. Kwati, tell me this. I mean, how about the schools? I mean, there are occasion setting behaviors or attitudes of some teachers kills initiative, kills the dream of a child. So there's a girl child who would want to do science, but some comments or some behaviors of a teacher can kill that. In our schools, what do you expect of teachers to encourage the girls to be more science oriented in their minds?
We are doing now, and like my sisters have said, we have to create awareness in them. And then it is also important that there's exposure. So the teachers, I know teachers go through a lot of training and even refresher courses. So I think that using this station or avenue, they should include certain exposures to them in their training as they so not just using the phone or whatever device available to them for one way thing, but then science, we encourage them. They are shown that science is not all about being a doctor or a nurse or engineer, but there's a whole lot. As we said here, there's microbiologists, entomologists, virologists, there are neurologists, there are research, and people are into research, some are into lecturing. So I believe that probably some of the teachers are not well exposed. So they should be exposed during their training. And as they are exposed and they are educated, then they bring it down to the girl child. Then they know that it's not what a man can do, a woman can do better. But our world needs both gender. It can't just be the male. It should be both, male, female, working side by side, impacting our world, so that we live in a better world.
So, as much as we're encouraging people, and listeners, in case you just joined us, the science women, or women scientists from KNUST, women who are into WiSTEM. Technology. I want to talk about the WiSTEM, I'll get there. But they are into mathematics. And, someone like you standing runs away from mathematics.
I don't like maths.
I mean, they are not bedfellows at all, including myself.
Yeah.
I'm not left out. Even when it comes to engineering, many thought earlier that it was a field for men to veer into or to enter. When it comes to the sciences, well, from time immemorial, women have been trying to get in there and all that. But this time around, there's this conscious effort to encourage women, the girl child, to have a feeling of love to enter into STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And these amazing women who call themselves the WiSTEM, GH, they are putting together a program. It's on the 4th to the 9th of next month. And they will be telling about the students who will be participating in the STEM program or the CAMP program, this year. But one thing that I ask myself is this, in as much as we are so encouraging people, Dr. Silver King. Now, let me come to you, Dr. Furi. Are we well resourced? Are the resources enough to help the young girls have the interest and appreciate the study of STEM, programs? Are we well resourced?
David, I think that if we talk about resources, then there's a big question mark somewhere. In as much as we are trying, the resources are not enough, looking at the numbers that we have. So we have a lot of students, we have a lot of pupils in schools, but the facilities are inadequate. And because the facilities are inadequate, you cannot do things on a very big scale. You always will need to ration or do kind of like rationing. So you give like a few people can experience the goodness this time, then at another time another group of students. But at that time, then the bulk of them who could not experience it at the time the others experience are shortchanged. And so we have a big challenge.
So with that big challenge, Dr. Silver King, how is it impacting the interest, not just of the girl child, but the child when it comes to the sciences? Because, for example, I just picked this last night, where the government has built, 4 STEM schools. So far, we've built only 4 STEM schools. Jachi, here in the Shanti region, that's in the Bosomtri district. There's one at Abomusu in the eastern region. There's one at Pasempe in the northern region. I understand that there are some 5 projects that are ongoing, plus 120 ultra-modern facilities that are being put together and all that. Question is, how is that impacting the interest and the education in STEM?
Indeed, when it comes to resources, we know we have a big issue. Indeed, even sometimes when you visit some laboratories within some institutions, you find some few, hitches here and there. But I think that we are looking at that big laboratory, but even right in the home. When you are preparing soup, really it's a science you are doing, because when you have added the salt and you are tasted or you are tasting it, you want to get that, I call it that titration level, to ensure that you have gotten it so right. So yes, we don't have the resources, but there are other things we can use everyday life, because science is everyday. Science is life. So if we can, because we don't have the needed resources, if we can channel some of our efforts into the things we do every day. Look at us now. We are seated here in Kumasi, but I'm sure someone in Northern West is listening to us, or Northeast is listening to us, because of the fact that we are using these microphones and they are radio waves. So technology. So yes, we don't have the resources, but can we use other means to explain?
But if the resources were right, it would encourage us to do more.
Absolutely.
So that's why I was asking, how is the lack of resources impacting the education in STEM?
David, I don't want to say it is educating, it is impacting it negatively, because we are not.
But it's slowing down.
At least now you mentioned 4 schools, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure 5 years ago we didn't have these schools. So I guess it's a gradual process. And let's take it one day at a time. Let's push the girls. Let's give them the needed encouragement in our homes as we go about our cooking and our washing. When you are using that soap and it is lathering, why is it lathering? Are there chemicals in it? Why is it that when you have used that particular pomade on your face, you get all those black thing? It's because of science. The microorganisms, you are killing all of them. So let's use because if we don't take care, we also would end up making science abstract. So it becomes so difficult for boys and girls to even comprehend. But then the everyday things, when you walk, what is going on? What sort of energy is changing? And all the very
I asked that question because
kinetic energy.
You are trying
But it's impressive.
Yes, indeed it is. But you engage with some students, or let's say female students, and then due to the computer placement system as we have it, they are posted to certain school. Why did you sigh? I want to know, why did you sigh?
It was just a reaction.
So they are placed to certain schools. The interest began when they were in primary school, the preparatory school. It heightened when they got to the junior high. And then they get to a school where they want to pursue the science. And then you realize that a lot of things are not available. So they cannot pursue, they cannot continue. That's why I asked about the resources. Under the circumstances, yes, government is trying its best to do what it can under the circumstances, but what can we really do? Let's speak to civil society. Let's speak to philanthropists out there. And I like the fact that you're nodding your heads. What can people do to improve, the things that we need for us to have that education in STEM right up there and excel in it? What
David, we need support. I mean, we have extremely rich people listening to us. We need their support. I mean, we need financial support. We need other resources. Support is not only about money. Sometimes we need infrastructure. Sometimes you need transportation. Sometimes you need to feed people who are being trained. So yes, we need these philanthropists. We need the huge and massive mobile network companies to come and support us. We need individuals, old boys and old girls, Hobsons, we need them. The other ones, they call themselves old girls of Wesley girls. But I mentioned Hobsons. We need the Mobers, we need the Augustinians, the Absunians, we need the Slopsons, the Merima, we are in the Ashanti region. Yes. Let's talk about some seniors. Of the Kumas, the seniors, are there juniors? The warriors. Yes. We need, and look, we need every single hand on deck. And I'm sure once we get their support, we'll get
That's okay.
Yeah, so David, when you were talking about we trying and building up the resource. So years ago, we felt that if you never read science, you could never be an engineer. It's real now in Ghana that if you did art, you can't be trained to become an engineer. When it was said some years back, we thought it was a dream, an impossibility, but now it's happening. So UMAT, or University of Mines and Technology, is running this program for art students to do a bridging and become engineers. Quite recently, I saw Kumasi Technical University also advertise a similar program. And so even when you have, your interest had been cut off right from placement, because I was smiling when you talked about computer placement, because if someone dreams of reading science, and then you are placed in a school where you can't do science, you need to do art, or you need to do general arts, then all your dream gets shattered. But then now the opportunity is available for you to come back Because once you have the passion, you can always move forward.
I see. And again, I'll come to you, Dr. Kwatin, sorry. I said earlier that I was going to share some statistics. And again, I saw this one at dawn. And it says, unfortunately, African nations lag in STEM education outputs compared to the rest of the globe. And that's sad. Not just Ghana, but Africa. According to the African Development Bank, less than 25% of students in higher education in Africa are majoring in STEM subjects. Only 25%. The bulk of students are majoring in social sciences and humanities. I'm not saying it's not a good program, no. Comparatively, over 30% of bachelor's and master's degrees, over 50% of research doctorates, and nearly 65% of professional doctorates in the United States are STEM fields. So that's why we're having this conversation, to bridge that gap. For us, not in Ghana alone, but in Africa, to be able to also rise to the occasion and meet that standard, because we've become a global village right now. If you don't get that opportunity here in Ghana, and for whatever reason you are blessed to have the opportunity to travel out, how do you compete? How do you stay, in competition? And, for those who are into this aeronautics and all that, they do so well in Ghana. And Doctor, I like the look on your face, Dr. Silverkin. They do so well in Ghana when it comes to the theoretical aspect of things. But when they travel out to go and compete and it comes to the practical aspect of things, we always lag behind. And that's what I'm talking about, how we can improve upon our situation. Yes, Doc, you wanted to say something? Dr.
Yeah,
Kwasi.
so aside all the big people we mentioned, I think parents have a huge role to play. And this is what I mean. Now, a lot of kids have phones.
Yeah.
They have tablets. So why don't we put applications there? There are a lot of learning tools for free online. Why don't we download them for the kids? And instead of just playing one game or the other.
You say game. They'll TikTok and do faces and will dance. This man is head of leaks. They'll leak things. They'll leak all manner of crazy things that they use the device for.
So let's use the device profitably. Let's create the awareness, create the interest at that level. So as they are playing game, they are learning.
And for the ladies, stop shaking your buttocks on social media. It's not going to take you anywhere. Stop shaking your buttocks and your boobs and your boyfriend this and your boyfriend. Stop those things. Put the devices to very good use for your own self and for your beautiful future. Let's focus attention on your camp 2023. And I'm happy that I heard that you started in 2018 with some 80 students. And then gradually, unfortunately, COVID came to do us a lot of, ill. But gradually, you've moved on and getting to 250 and all that.
We're hitting 300.
Yeah.
For this year?
Yeah.
Because we are getting other people who are ready to sponsor girls and bring them in. So we are targeting 250.
Are men sponsoring or the women alone?
It's girls women are sponsoring, men are sponsoring.
Yeah,
we even have some companies who want to, if we can.
Okay.
They want to bring people.
I hear you.
Yeah.
But the men support more when it comes to this.
I agree. David, I mean, the number of course, most of them have been from some institutions, but we have also seen a number of men, and we are waiting to receive yours.
Yeah. One good turn deserves another hand. You supported us during the PAC campaign, so I have to reciprocate and do something. That's why I'm giving my airspace this morning.
It's a promise, right?
And I know you have a list of contacts. You have a lot of contacts on your phone. Just send all of them to us.
We hear you.
And we'll be very
go knock on their doors.
Because
if we're good cause,
it is so expensive, and I really need to commend our vice chancellor, our previous vice chancellors, Prof. Obrid, and so our current vice chancellor, Professor Mrs. Rita Akosua Dixon. I mean, they've been extremely supportive.
Professor Dabo,
yes.
Hi, Prof.
We can go on and go on and go on mentioning names. Prof. Otu Ellis. I mean, we started WiSTEM with him, and he's still with us.
Okay.
So but then we still need the support.
I hear you. So let's talk about the students. How are you able to gather or get them? Are they supposed to apply, or you pick and choose them, select them by yourself? How is that done? I mean, let me come to you.
So we have a subcommittee that looks at selection of students and selection of schools, and then the students. So this year, they have done it. Grade A, we make sure we bring all the categories of schools to the program. So can I mention some of the schools
that are
coming? We have Efia Kubi, we have KNUST Senior High, Agugu State is coming, we have Tepa SHS, and then Prince of Peace, St. Monica's, Barikese, Senior High, Asantua, Efijasi Senior High, Asanteman, Mansu Edubia Senior High, Kumasi Girls, Konongo Odumasi Second Senior High. Then we have St. Mary's, a Greek in Zema Senior High.
And it goes on and on and on. You know how many schools?
But David,
you know how many schools roughly?
We have 28
schools.
And then we are expecting more. Some from the Western region.
Are you going to camp them on campus this time around?
Exactly.
This time around you're camping them on campus?
No,
for the 5 days?
Was the off
the first time was the off campus, but subsequently
was it a Fiakobi that invented the boats?
Yes.
Yeah. They are doing really good in technology.
David, I need to emphasize that we don't do this all by ourselves. We do it in collaboration with the Ghana Education Service.
Exactly.
So we work hand in hand with the STEM coordinator. There's a STEM coordinator in the Ashanti region. I'm sure Mr. Adams is listening to us, and they have been very supportive. They give us the list of the schools. They touch base with the headmaster because we can't go fishing out for them. And so we need to emphasize that it is a collaborative effort.
I'm going to call Dr. Duchum after this program.
Excellent.
Ask him whether he's aware, because he himself has a passion for the STEM education.
His
and
advisor is coming.
His advisor is coming.
Yes,
then you are sorted.
Adoma Samoa.
Then you are sorted. I mean, please
we need you to call him.
I should still call him.
Yes.
We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, please.
So let's talk about the 5 days. What's the plan? What activities? Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. Quickly run us through it. What do you intend to do? Because I heard about the projects that they'll be doing and all that. I was wondering, what kind of a project are they going to be doing?
Yes. So day 1, they will come on Monday, and we will house them at Africa Hall
and feed them as well.
Of course,
it doesn't come cheap, huh?
Oh,
we're going to use electricity and use water as well.
Everything we are feeding them. No, we are not clothing. But we make them comfortable, and then we would explain to them what the projects are about. We'll group them into the project and then explain to them what the project.
You want to share with us what the projects, areas are?
Yes.
So the projects, we have projects in the basic sciences, in physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, and then we have projects in art.
Okay.
And then IT.
Okay.
So to fit into their curricula. We do a bit of robotics. We have a group that wants to do something on robotics. They are doing something on extracting dyes from plants and mixing of dyes. They are looking at doing some leather work. There's some paper work as well, making books. So the book industry is giving us a project on how they can use old magazines and old stuff in making books. Beautiful. The mathematics people are also trying to make them express their statistics in doing some projects.
That's nice. Let me say this quickly. Listeners, you can call us. I mean, if you've heard anything you want clarity on, or there's something you want to say about a STEM program in Ghana, or you want to speak to children out there, especially young girls, to encourage them to take up the sciences, the engineering, the technology, and of course the mathematics, feel free. Call us on 03220-83596, 03220-83597, or 03220-83598. They say they're looking for sponsorship. They're looking for support. So if you're an individual or an organization out there, you think you can help them, it's for a wedding cost. You can call us and then we'll engage with you. I'd like to know how the previous editions has fared. People who have come through the previous editions, how it's impacted their lives, how they're doing out there. But let me speak to Kofi. Good morning.
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah.
Good. I want to, before I go on with my submission, I want to ask Dr. Sobake that are they assembling all girl child to come and partake of this project, or they are selecting girl child who are interested in becoming scientists and they are good in math and mathematics, or math and science? I want to know.
All right, so she would answer your question for you.
No, I wanted to continue with my submission. My submission will depend on the answer she will give.
Okay, over to you. What's the response?
Kofi Bajumba, thank you very much for your question. So we are not assembling all girls. We can't contain all the girls, and so we have selected. We did not do the selection. Like I said, we worked with GES, or we work with GES through the school. So the management within the schools would do the selection. There's a tag in terms of the number of girls per every school or per per school, so that if a school needs to bring 20 girls, for example, then they will do their own selection. We don't influence the selection. However, we influence the selection in terms of a certain criteria, i.e., obviously, if they are in third year, now they are writing their exams. So obviously, third years or year 3 students are not eligible, if I can put it that way. And of course, they also need to be reading any of the science programs.
Yes. So this is where I come in. You see, you are blaming the parents of discriminating against their girl children. But you see, if your girl child is not good in mathematics and is not good in science and does not have any vision to become a scientist, how do you push this girl? You cannot. You look at the situation where she is good at, and then you encourage her. So to say, let's encourage girl child to develop interest in science and mathematics, that is where I have a problem. So you should rather say that girl child who is good in mathematics and science and has a vision to become a scientist, help them. That is what I think it should be. Thank you.
Here you, Kofi. Thanks, sir. So, what do you make of girls being encouraged to study science, technology, engineering, and mathematics? Let's hear from you. The encouragement should be there. People ought to be encouraged to have interest in that, and we need to ensure that they get it right. On Facebook, Akosia Afra Lumo says, my big sisters are on air. Indeed, they are here. Mariam Ajiman says, great women. Isaac Kweku Ampa says, well done for the good work. Please, can they name some of the apps that will help parents to get their kids on those STEM programs? Thank you. So you can share that information with them shortly. Akosia Afra comes back and says, bravo, ladies. Eunice Owusu entry says, this is a beautiful and insightful discussion. Thank you very much, Eunice. And I don't know whether Eunice yourself, you are into the sciences. Let me find out from Helena whether she is one of them. Hi, Helena, good morning.
Hello.
Helena, good morning. Have you? Let's hear you, please.
Yeah. Please, I'm calling from Ahinemaku. And I think that the JHS people, those who have completed, should be, that is where they should start from, because for them to get a lot of girls reading science at the SHS level, that should start from there, because that is where they will choose the courses they want to do and then the schools they want to attend, so that it will help them, or it will inform them as to which school to choose because they want to read science, and then that will encourage more girls to get the interest when they participate in such a program.
Well, Helena, I thank you very much. And I think that it's a gradual process, isn't it?
Exactly.
It began in 2018, moved on to 2019, 2020 because of COVID, you couldn't do it, 2021 same, and then you did some in 2022. And now the 2023 edition is here. So as they move on, they'll be learning, they'll be adding on, they'll be doing some subtractions and all that. You can also call us, especially if you're a woman and you're into that field of the sciences, the technology, the engineering, and of course the mathematics. How is it impacting your life? Share your experiences so that others would also pick from you. So you can call us on 03220-83596, 03220-83597, and 03220-83598. You can call us. But tell us about your own experiences in your fields of endeavor. Being scientists, how has it helped you? Any of you can start, please. Yeah.
Well, for me, I cannot overemphasize it. So aside the fact that, of course, it's given me a career and cash, which is important.
Yeah, I like that.
It is an eye opener. It opens your brain up, and I think that it makes you less myopic. Yes, because you are exposed to this beautiful world of animals you can't see but are impacting our lives. So what are you talking about?
But apart from,
and then the fact that you can apply whatever theory you are learning to real life and see it translate into something that can be seen impacting people's lives. That is wonderful.
And I remember vividly during the COVID time what Dr. Silva King, did.
She was always living here.
Aside from the education, I know that a lot behind the scenes took place that helped us not to have several cases and also very, very few deaths and all that. Let's talk about the career paths for those who enter the STEM programs. What are the career paths? Because I can see here computer science, aviation, aeronautics, engineering, biomedical sciences, and global blah, blah, blah goes on. So, I mean, is there anything you want to add for those who want to enter the STEM education? What are the career paths for them, for the girl child? It's not just about being a doctor or a nurse, is it? I mean, there are broader things. What else would you want to add, Dr. Fari?
So there are a lot, like you mentioned. So the ones that you cannot see. So people don't know that those who venture into science, when you go to the hospital and they draw your blood, it's somebody's responsibility to stay in the lab and process it and give you the results. And the doctor would only tell you, oh, mommy, you when you're malaria, chloroquine. So the lab technicians also read science. So we have the biomedical scientists. That's how we put them. Beside the biomedical scientists, we have the biochemist, we have the food scientist, the nutritionist. We could venture into the pharmaceuticals. And when we get into the pharmacies, it's not only those behind the counter giving the medicines. There are different branches of pharmacy. And then so we have the pharmaceutical microbiologist. Their responsibility is to make sure that the drugs are quality controlled. So you are looking at the pharmaceutics, the pharmacognosys, and the rest. You can come into the biology area. You have the plant people, what we call ecologists. We can have the entomologists, the virologists, the bacteriologists, all the logists that you can find. You could venture into chemistry. So we have the physical chemistry. We can go to the organics. I hope you remember a bit of organic chemistry.
No,
what only bonding, covalent bonds, ionic bonds, and then the physics. So physics. Recently, we had an inaugural lecture on climate science. Our provost, the provost of the College of Science, Prof. Amekuji, good morning. And
hi, Prof. Good morning.
So he gave a beautiful presentation on climate science, demystifying and trying to decode. Our rainfall patterns have changed, and all of us have experienced it recently. And so it's all in the sciences.
Okay. Let me go back on Facebook and read some more messages, because I have this one from Tony Minka. Tony begins by saying that we talk about STEM in Ghana more. The real action, practical of doing science. So it's more, we do more talk than the real thing. He goes on to say science in Ghana is too abstract rather than concrete and hands-on. You agree? He says science in Ghana is too abstract rather than concrete and hands-on. You agree?
I don't want to agree.
Then this one says it's been largely a male-dominated field, so encouraging girls is a call in the right direction. And I agree with you on that. So when somebody wants to sponsor, where should the person go, or who should the person call? Somebody's listening to us right now, want to support in any way. This camp that's taking place between the 4th and, of course, the 9th.
So they can call 0244 214 625 if they want to transfer money. They can use the same account or the same phone number.
Okay.
They can also call 0244 136667 as well, and will definitely indicate that we have received your sponsorship.
Most definitely. So what will be your final words? Let me start off with you, Mrs. Nwakwa, let's say it, please.
Yes, we're going to have an interesting program this year, and we are talking about students. We forgot about our tutors. We are bringing some of the tutors on board, to also educate them so that they can also go and impact their students.
Most definitely. I hear you. And then Dr. Furi?
So I just want to encourage them, those who would be joining us. I'm sure they are in school by now, so they might not be listening to us. But parents out there, to encourage their wards at whatever level, right from when they are children, to appreciate science. Their parents might not have been scientists, But I think that with the little knowledge, I tell students that our parents and our great grandparents didn't know the science behind the actions that they did, but it was all scientific. So let's just keep encouraging our kids, and we promise them a very good time for those who are coming and their tutors.
They are hosting them for 5 days. Listen, in any way possible, support them. Dr. Silver King.
So I would love to appreciate some institutions. Stanbic Bank, they've been very supportive. Gridco, there's Mensim Gold, BBNE, Cargill, thank you. Toyota, Superior Quality, we appreciate your effort. There's West Coast Ghana Gas, there's Rail, there's Multineck, there's Voltic, there's Kingdom Book, and of course there's Love FM. Thank you very much. But David, I have a request. I think it would be nice for you to host a couple of the girls on Friday. Don't squeeze your face.
I'm just contemplating and running through my mind.
Yes, so that you can also appreciate the impact we would have had on them. But while saying that, I also need to appreciate the efforts of Professor Mrs. Ibokodro, the president of WiSTEM, Professor Adibanji, Dr. Messi Bedu, Professor Rita. I'm not mentioning their names in any order. Professor Mrs. Rita Kosia Dixon, Professor Kwesi Obrida, and so Professor Ellis, Prof. Preko, every single one of the professors, the males, the females, we appreciate all your support.
Well, thank you very much, ladies, for joining us and for sharing all this with us. Yes, Dr. Furry.
So I just want to also tell the co-chair. So we have the co-chair for the planning committee. We have two of them. So Mrs. Nyakon and then Vera, Dr. Vera Amankwa. And then that's our secretary for the planning committee, Josephine. And then all the other subcommittee chairs, we want to appreciate all their effort. It's been a lot of work, but we appreciate them. Gifty, all of them. I think the names have just.
We have a motto. When we say WiSTEM, what do we say?
Inspiring generation.
Inspiring generation, indeed.
And David, I would want to say that is a good cause. We need all the supports because we are doing theory. We are taking them to the lab to translate the theory to practical, and then they are visiting industries.
Okay.
So that it is theory, lab, industry. That's those three dots are connected beautifully.
WiSTEM.
Inspiring generations.
Thank you.
Mrs. Miyako, thank you very much for your time. Josephine, thanks very much for. She's secretary and she's been taking notes.
Yes.
And then to you, Dr. Kwate, Dr. Silver King, and of course Dr. Ofuri. Thank you very much. We wish that you enjoy, your program. And I'm still processing
Friday.
it. Yeah, I'm still processing it. Don't worry, I'm still processing it. Between that one and me calling the minister, which one do you prefer?
Both.
Choose one.
Don't say no. Choose, let us choose. Please.
Let the girls come. You call the minister, and he listens in.
Oh man, we'll see. We'll see.
Hey, I think I want to. Should I read this message?
Go ahead, please.
It says this one is from Eunice Owusu, and she says, "Well, I'm into fashion design and technology. However, a lot of where did it go? It vanished. I don't know what happened. It just vanished.
So once yours is vanished, mine is here with me.
Okay.
This one says, "Hello, Kumasi. Get ready for an experience at the newly constructed 100 Goa filling station. Now, the 100 Goa filling station will be open to the public from this Friday, the 25th of August, 2023. All right. Now, so it means it's already been opened. Now, they are giving free fuel to all drivers, both private and commercial. Now, they are giving 2 gallons free fuel to 30 drivers in the morning from 6 a.m. and 2 gallons free fuel to 30 drivers in the evening from 4 p.m. And it's beginning from the 1st of September to the 10th of September. Have that at the back of your mind. 1st September to the 10th of September. Now, this is free fuel for 60 cars a day for 10 days, and that's free fuel for 600 cars. That's not all. They are also giving drivers free t-shirts, key holders, and exercise books for their kids and free textiles for their wives. So they are not just filling your tanks, they're fueling your experience. Now, the experienced and friendly staff are there to ensure that your visit is nothing short of exceptional, from helping you with your fueling needs to answering any questions you might have. So the next time you want to buy fuel, drive straight to the newly constructed 100 filling station for an experience. Girl, Gold Energy. So what's your preferred tank? I mean, color of tank actually. Well, mine is red. Oh no, it is blue. I think it's green or the black. Listen, whichever color I want, I'll get it at Syntex, and you can get it too. Now, what guarantee do you want when you visit Syntex? Well, Syntex has it. What kind of inner layer are you looking for? I mean, some people say they want double, others say triple, others say quadruple. But the point is this: as many inner layers as you want, Syntex has it too. So remember, no matter your water needs, Syntex has it. Syntex tank are strong, are tough, and they have over 300 agents nationwide. So to order a tank, just pick up your phone and call 0244 335 168. You can also visit Syntex on social media at Syntex Ghana or shop online on www.syntexgh.com. Syntexgh.com. Syntex tank are strong, are tough. In a bit, we'll be crossing over to Joy 99.7 for a conversation on Ghana's tax revenue against the GDP. It comes up your way shortly right here on Love 99.5. But before then, we've got some messages for you.
Aji mensa ye titiri na ayame yaka ho doctor say me BP ni me sugar nyina kwosoro
de wuhia ne amuzu garlic bitters ane amuzu garlic bitters ewo herbal shop bia.
Hey, you ever buy credits where you get up to 20% of your money back before? Like I tell you about Vodafone's demo promo. See, anytime you recharge a demo, you get up to 20%, whether it be short code or your Vodafone cash wallet, or you don't use credit transfer to your number or someone else. And now you be high tech, so you don't use my Vodafone app or any payment app. However you do, Vodafone go send you up to 20% cash back into your Vodafone cash account. Who reload here? But then you enter, top up your airtime with 5 Ghana cedi or more in Vodafone's demo promotion and receive 20% of your money back straight into your Vodafone cash wallet. Recharge and cash out in the Vodafone demo promotion.
Vodafone, further together.
Obi na invite me say memra wedding. Na me bedroom here. Me hwe am for dressing. There's more room for improvement. Me say Messi afa me ho me gina ha. Mr. Ultimate mo. Me nya kire wo say wo wura Ultimate Fashions mo. Refrigerando, Kenneth Cole, Max Fendi, Perry Jacob, and member chefs papa bi. Italian shoes, slippers, sandals, khaki, material trousers, office wear. Enye na wo. Enye member nko a wo. E ma die wo. E man yo ma ye sheko wedding, party, engagement. Brands from across the world. Ellen Trace, Adriana Papel, Jones New York, Tehari, Casper, any baby keka se mo hia mo ho sa na se mo da na di sa no mo nda na di spectacularly said ye be ya enkrofo be hu se oh wodro no edimu wedding gown kolanta de ni nyina wo Ultimate Fashion o mapon wedding no. Would you take comment here by me?
I like your dressing.
Medase.
Abrantie, why you do?
Oh, thank you.
Hey, why for na barabe?
Oh, Debbie, Edum here. Kumasi Ultimate Fashions. Oh, Prisons Runabout. Accra, opposite UTC. Ultimate Fashion. Beauty is our style.
You provide the fire.
Daily focus on your superstation Love 99.5 FM is giving you an opportunity to start your day right with anointed men of God. Tune in daily at 5:15 a.m. and be blessed. Be edified with Joel Osteen on Monday.
Just because it seems like God is too late doesn't mean that He's not going to come through. Don't be impatient for Him to act. Keep believing, keep praying, and every blessing that belongs to you will show up.
Receive the word with Reverend Eric Ajay Bediako of New Life City Chapel, Buokrom, every Tuesday.
Anytime the Holy Ghost comes to dwell in your heart, He produces His nature in you. And so you that some time ago you were whatever, you begin to have desires for holy things in your life.
On Wednesday, make a date with His word, His power, and His presence with Reverend Victor Osei, General Overseer of Family Chapel International.
One thing you should never allow in your life is for people to take you for granted. Go where you are celebrated and not where you are simply tolerated.
Live a relevant life every Thursday with Reverend David Seth Kwanzaa, head pastor of Mid-Country Chapel, Amoko.
No matter what chances you have lost, opportunities you have lost, God is able to restore them. Who is this God that can cause something to come out of Nazareth?
And on Friday, Reverend Simon Ampofo of Gracefield Chapel comes your way with Word Explosion.
You are blessed in your going out and blessed in your coming in. even now and forevermore.
Daily focus on Love FM. Start your day right with a word from God.
Coffee in your cup. Enjoy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best. Enjoy 99.7 FM.
All right, so welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. And our friends from the UPSA Law School have joined us this morning, and I'm sure you know what we're about to talk about. This morning we're joined by Edna Ofori, who is a lecturer at UPSA Law School, and Edna Obri, who is lecturer at UPSA Law School, and Gertrude Amoko Ama, who is lecturer also at UPSA Law School. Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, Winston. Thank you for having us.
I hope all of you are doing very well.
We are well. Very well, thank you.
Great. So we've been talking about the honorific lecture and awards in honor of Professor Justice Samuel Kofi Dateba for some time now. It is happening tomorrow. Tell us first of all what that whole lecture is about, why you instituted it in the first place.
Right. Thank you very much, Winston. Let me use the opportunity again to say a good morning to all your listeners and greetings from the management of the UPSA Law School. So you will agree with me that for many years, the UPSA Law School has put together so many initiatives aimed at engaging members of the general public. For us, the focus is more on experiential learning as well as the promotion of clinical legal education. So it is not only about getting your LLB and then going away. We are interested in a more holistic experience. That is why we have these initiatives. Now, specifically for the Lifetime Achievement Award, this is an initiative that has been created by the UPSA Law School to recognize, firstly, and even more importantly, to appreciate legal personalities or personalities in the law who have contributed immensely, but also in diverse ways towards the development of the law in Ghana. So be it as legal academics, be it as judges, who those on the bench, be it as lawyers or in any other capacity. We recognize that there are so many of these personalities who have in their own distinct and immense ways made a lot of contributions towards the development of the rule of law and ultimately the law in Ghana. So the UPSA Law School, together with our partners, we have thought it wise to institute the Lifetime Achievement Award to recognize and appreciate these deserving personalities that I have just referred to. And like you rightly said, our very first recipient is none other than His Lordship Professor Justice Samuel Kofi Dateba, who would be the maiden recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award instituted by the UPSA Law School.
I'm just curious, and I'm sure there are many who would be curious also and ask themselves the very simple question: why Professor Dateba?
Why Professor Dateba? Thank you very much for the question. And good morning to your listeners. I would have to start by saying that His Lordship, Professor Dateba, has contributed significantly to the jurisprudence of this country. When you look at his service at the Supreme Court, I don't know if you've had the opportunity to read some of his judgments, but I mean, brilliant, smart, and all that. He's given so much. I think
the one not for timorous souls.
Absolutely, sure, that one. Okay, so for like about 10 years, he served on the Supreme Court of this country, and I think he gave so much. He's given so much to the country as an academic. He's also contributed in that area a lot. I mean, in the 90s, he was the lecturer at the Faculty of Law, Legon, and I even want to chip in by saying that I wonder how many people have sat under his tutelage and what he has given, in his capacity as a lecturer for all those years. Also, even when we look beyond the shores of this country, also the Commonwealth, he contributed so much in that regard. He was the advisor and the negotiation, team leader for member states. And so we are actually honored as an institution. UPSA is honored to honor this man for the significant works that he's done over the years.
Great. So when is this event coming off?
Yes. So the live